Hello, this is Tony Heller from visitech.ai. In this video, I ask the question, did Halley's Comet sink the Titanic? On the surface, this proposition might appear to be quite far-fetched. So let's take a look at the evidence. During the spring of 1910, Halley's Comet not only lit up the night skies, but it was also visible during the day. People were very worried that it was going to cause a catastrophe. Some people believed it was going to collide with Earth, and other people just thought it brought bad luck. Mark Twain died the day after the comet reached perihelion. That same week, Thomas Edison announced a new era in electric cars. He said that the era of long charge times, expensive batteries, and short battery life had come to an end. He said the advances in electric cars removed the last objection to electric car use by advocates of gas. Now let's explore a possible relationship between Halley's Comet and the sinking of the Titanic. Shortly before the comet arrived, the United States experienced its warmest March on record. Temperatures in the upper Great Plains were more than 20 degrees above normal. You could also infer from this map that Canada must have been very warm as well. Let's take a look at a specific example of the warmth of March 1910. This is a website I developed at visitech.ai. It's extremely useful for almost any type of data, but for this video I'm just going to be showing you climate data. This is what the website looks like for paid subscribers. But what I'm about to show you can also be done with a free subscription. The first thing I'm going to do is select Wyoming from this drop-down menu. Next, I'm going to select Lusk, Wyoming. This brings up a graph of all 38,381 maximum temperature readings measured at Lusk since the 1890s. Now I'm going to select a different view of the data with Operation Graph by Year. Now we have a spaghetti graph of all of the daily maximum temperatures recorded at Lusk, Wyoming. The left side is January 1st and the right side is December 31st, and there's one line for each year. You can see that there was a big spike in March 1910. The temperature reached an incredible 85 degrees Fahrenheit on March 18th, 1910. Lusk, Wyoming is just one location, but it was very warm during March 1910 over almost the entire United States. As a result of the warmth and drought of 1910, the largest forest fire in U.S. history occurred in Idaho and Montana during that summer. Flames were reported to be 300 feet high, and they had hurricane-force winds. There were terrible forest fires in the Pacific Northwest and in Minnesota as well. During October 1910, hundreds of people died in forest fires in Minnesota. The heat wave continued into 1911. On February 2, 1911, it was 93 degrees at Fort Worth, Texas. Lewiston, Maine reached an incredible 101 degrees on May 21, 1911. The worst heat wave on record in New England occurred during July 1911. During 11 hellish days, horses dropped dead in the street and babies didn't wake up from their naps. In every major northeastern city, the sweltering heat drove people to suicide. On the other side of the Atlantic, tens of thousands of people died from the heat in Europe during the summer of 1911. July 4th, 1911 was the hottest July 4th on record in the United States. Temperatures over 110 degrees were reported by the Boston Globe in both New Hampshire and Maine. Australia was having record winter warmth. One of the deadliest floods in history occurred in China during the summer of 1911. Panama received 2.48 inches of rain in 5 minutes on November 29, 1911, a world record. During the summer of 1911, Greenland reached an incredible 94 degrees Fahrenheit. So what does any of this have to do with the Titanic? Let's take a look at that. Shortly after the Titanic sank in 1912, the New York Times printed this article. The large number of icebergs in the North Atlantic during April 1912 was a direct result of the warmth of the previous year. But the heat wave actually began more than 2 years earlier during March 1910. And that was while Halley's comet was streaking through the solar system. The conjunction of the heat wave and the comet might just be a coincidence, or on the other hand, it might not. No one really understands what causes these extreme weather conditions. The record heat of March 1910 may get surpassed by March of 2026. Parker, Arizona is forecast to reach 108 degrees Fahrenheit on March 20th. Let's go back to visitech.ai and see how that compares with prior years. I'm going to select Arizona. Now I'm going to select Parker. Next, I'm going to do Operation Graph by Year. We can see that the warmest temperature ever recorded at Parker during March is 102 degrees Fahrenheit. That occurred during both 2004 and 1930. So the 108 degrees forecast at Parker this week would beat their previous March record by 6 degrees Fahrenheit. Besides the heat, the western U.S. has an even more serious problem: a lack of snow. Outside of the San Francisco peaks near Flagstaff, there's essentially no snow in Arizona right now. Mid-March is when the snowpack normally peaks in Arizona and much of the West. Given the warmth and drought in the western U.S., there's a significant possibility that we'll see very bad forest fires this summer. It largely depends on the summer monsoon season. If we get early rains, it may prevent a catastrophe. Like in 1910, we did have a comet this year, and we also had a couple very large solar storms. This might all just be a coincidence, but on the other hand, it might not. You can examine historical weather in the United States and many other countries at visitech.ai. And everything I've shown you in this video can be done with a free account. So please sign up and immediately become an historical weather expert.